Yep, it's the last one before Christmas this Thursday afternoon. So we decided we'd keep the mood light. There's no point in talking about immigration and the Green Party and all that mad stuff that annoys everybody every single day of the week. So I said, let's talk to somebody else who talks about all that mad stuff on a regular basis. And not only has he got a reputation for what he does for a living, but he also has a reputation now for giving out constantly on Twitter all the time. And he's doing quite well at the giving out, I must just say. By the way, it is Christmas, as you can see. I got my turkey hat on. That's a bit of a clue, by the way, as to what we're going to do. I'm going to put that down there because it's awkward, actually. Let me just put that down there. Yes, one man who does a lot of talking lately on Twitter and is getting a lot of reaction, but is famous for something else, and that's cooking, is celebrity chef Paul Treyvaud from Treyvaud's restaurant in Killarney, and he joins me on the line. Paul, hi, good afternoon to you. Happy Christmas.
And a happy Christmas to you, Niall. You had me fooled. I thought I was coming on, giving out, and here I am cooking you down Christmas dinner, huh?
Before we get to the Christmas dinner, by the way, what's the story? Why are you giving out so much? Are you just angry all the time? What's going on?
It's no fun if we're all the same, isn't it? We got to make these guys earn their money as well, you know. Let's see if what they're saying is true, or let's see, are they trying to twist our arm a little bit? So
okay,
I love giving out.
Are we going to bring some politics into the cooking today? You know what I mean? Maybe we should.
You never know.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, we got a bit of salad there for Eamon Ryan just to keep him happy as well. You know, we got Leo the legs on the turkey, I hope, as well. And
I got another 2 months before the salad is ready on the windowsill. But don't worry, I'm definitely going to bring Amo down and cook him a beautiful dish. Because I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for the next lockdown.
Okay, so every year there's absolute murder in households across the country about how you cook the turkey, how you cook the ham, how you do the sprouts. And everybody, you don't normally have fellas saying to the wife, "Me ma never cooked it like that. She used to dip the turkey in a bucket of vinegar overnight the night before." And I remember my mum when she used to make the peas, she'd put them in a bowl and put a tablety thing in. I don't know what that was.
Soda, yeah.
Yeah, the night before. And then she'd have the sprouts in, it looked like a sock. It was like a muslin cloth type thing. So everybody kind of has a different way of doing things. And I suppose there's no right way, but there's a best way, isn't there?
Well, I can tell you now, Niall, yes, there is a right way, and it's my way. And the reason why everybody makes a mess of their turkey every year is because they listen to other people who say, here's the perfect turkey. I'm going to show you how to make the perfect turkey. Put it in a bucket, cover with Coke, leave it in the bath overnight, bring it to bed, massage it, slap its ass twice, all this kind of stuff.
Give it a quick one.
Show you how to cook the perfect turkey.
Right. So firstly, you got to decide, by the way, now the big decision, because there's only the three of us in the house, is do you go for the full turkey? Do you go for the crown? Do you go for the bone and rolled? I mean, really, do you need the full body, the bones and everything?
Nah, not if there's only three of you. Just go for a little breast of turkey. If you want it so that you don't have to cook for the next 3 days, cook off the crown of turkey and have turkey and ham for the next 3 or 4 days. But one big breast of turkey is plenty. But before we get to that, Niall, I want to bring you back the day before, and we're going to have a bit of fun, right?
Okay.
So Christmas Eve, you're probably doing a bit of entertaining. First of all, the most important thing to do is make yourself a drink.
Oh, right? Yeah. That's essential. Essential.
I'm going to show the whole purpose of this little show today is to show you how to make life so easy for yourself. And I'm going to make a Bailey's coffee, because when you put in the cream into an Irish coffee, you got to be really careful with it. Bailey's coffee, cream's a little bit heavier, so it just floats on top.
It's looking good. It's looking good.
So simple, Bailey's hot water, coffee, and then you just put in a normal little bit of cream. Pour it in nice and slow to start off your spoon. You don't need to take too much hassle over it. And look at that. See, I'm pouring that in quite quickly and the cream is set. And if that was an Irish coffee, it would be splitting on me straight away. But look at that.
Oh, that looks good. That looks good, yeah. And by the way, are you going to do a Floyd Grossman on that now? Are you going to be sipping on that all the way through this and you'll be pissed in a half an hour?
As a wise old man once said, I didn't get dressed up for nothing. Of course I will be. But here we go. So Christmas Eve, we've got guests over.
Right,
this is a classic combination. It is Jameson, Black Barrel, and maple syrup cocktail sausages. Get ready, I'm about to burn the house down.
Yeah, no, when I cook sausages, I actually had some cocktails. Oh, Jesus, setting the place on fire. When I cook, I had some cocktail sausages this morning, right? And when I have them in the oven, just before they start to go brown, I pour honey on them. And they go nice and brown, and they're nice and tasty.
Honey, maple syrup, it's the exact same thing. I'm putting a little bit of maple syrup. And if you really want to make life easier, now this is just a little bit of extra chefy stuff. You go, why do they always taste better than mine? A little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce into our pan.
Now, when you go to the Worcester, is that Goodall's or Lee Perrins?
Yeah, Lee Perrins, can I show that? The only one to use. And here's the trick. A knob of butter in at the very end.
Okay, just to make them nice and slippy. Yeah.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we're very concerned about healthy food, so this is what we got: healthy food.
And then what do you? By the way, those sausages, what are you frying them in? Did you put a drop of oil in the pan first?
A little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
And here's the great thing. Here's the great thing about this now, right? So Christmas Eve, you've got your guests coming over at 6 o'clock or whatever for a few pints before we all head off to midnight mass. Do people still do that? I don't know. Anyway, so have all this done beforehand. You've it all flavored, all done.
Oh, looking good.
All I want to do, by the way, I'm just chopping and changing things over here, so don't be getting afraid. I've got all kinds of plates and tables and stuff behind me, so I don't have stuff in the way. Look at that.
I know. I'm starving just looking at it. Yeah.
And they're sorted.
In the oven for 10 minutes after you fry them and put the maple syrup on, looking good. And by the way, do you wrap them in? What's the story with the bacon? Do you not wrap them in a bit of bacon and have the pigs in the blanket?
Too much hassle. Remember, the person who's doing the cooking, you can go to all this kind of stuff if you want, but trust me, it's a lot of hassle. Christmas is about having a crack with your family and friends. So you just want to make life really, really easy for yourself. Don't go to hassle. They're delicious. There's black barrel in them for who needs bacon? Although bacon is fantastic. But that's just nice, simple thing. Roll on Christmas morning. Look what I've done this morning, right? That there is about 30 to 40 pancakes. I have friends coming down to me for Christmas. I am going to freeze them tonight or now after this. I'm going to freeze them. And on Christmas Eve or Christmas morning, I take them out. They take half an hour maximum to defrost. 5-10 minutes into the oven. Bring them down. We'll have a big bowl of raspberries, blackberries, and strawberries, and whipped cream and a little bit of Nutella. And that's Christmas breakfast sorted. Everybody makes the mistake. I must do a fry. We got to think about what we're eating later on. We're eating 2 roasts, a turkey and a ham, stuffing, 2 probably types of potatoes, 3 or 4 types of veg, Christmas pudding, Christmas cake, mince pies, mustard, heroes, Cadbury's
pints of Guinness,
chicken boxes. So trust me when I say this one, for this Christmas morning, go simple. Pancakes, I'm going to do a little bit of streaky bacon on the day, and the rest is fruit, and that's us sorted. Because here's the thing, we're going to roll on now to the starter on Christmas Day. Again, everything really simple. So have it all done beforehand. I'm going to give you suggestions here now. There's no point in me taking out loads of stuff because a lot of people are listening on the radio. A prawn cocktail. It's cold. It's made the day before. You have it in the fridge. Take it out. Family style. Middle of the table. Everybody helps themselves to a prawn cocktail. Or make yourself a soup. Nice and simple. And just reheat it before you come to the dinner table. Really, really simple. A little bit of smoked salmon on brown bread. A little bit of good quality terrine or pate. And don't be afraid to go to a good delicatessen and get some good quality terrines or pates. You don't need to make everything on the day because the chef, i.e. me, even though my beloved wife thinks she does something, she doesn't. What she does is give out to me. She'll kill me now. By the way, I'm wearing her apron and it's a miracle that I fit with. She will kill me now, definitely.
I can see that.
So a little bit of stuff just to make sure the Bailey's coffee is good.
Okay, by the way, what sort of soup? Would you go for a tomato or a vegetable? What works well with the Christmas dinner?
Do you know what's fantastic and it's really good in season is getting wild mushroom soup. You get them in all good shops around at the moment. If you can't find them, get the dried mushrooms and get maybe 1 packet of dried mushrooms with maybe say, your normal kind of tub of normal mushrooms, and then just soak the dried mushrooms for about maybe an hour in boiling water. Keep the liquor, put it through a sieve now, but keep the liquor and then make that into your stock, blitz it all up, loads of cream. It is Christmas and it's a fantastic soup. And a nice little bit of toasted baguette, something really simple. Don't be eating too much. Now we get to the infamous
turkey. Look at him.
Now you have a huge camera, Niall. I'm sure you've heard that before. This is not a chicken. It's just a very big camera, but it'll give you a good idea because there's loads of people watching this as well. Here's what's really important. Everybody stuffs the turkey in its neck and in its ass, okay? Now think about it. We're putting this into the oven. And the reason why everybody eats dry turkeys, you must remember the most important thing. Turkey is a game bird. Now that does not mean she's falling out of a nightclub at 3 o'clock in the morning when you have a chance. It's traditionally a dry bird, okay? Because it's running away from people like me who are trying to shoot it. Okay, so here's what we want to do. We want the air circulating in the oven as much as possible. So if we stuff it like a brick, it's going to take longer and longer to cook. The experts tell you, listen to this now, 20 minutes per pound plus 20 minutes after. We've heard that for as long as I can remember.
Yep.
If the average turkey is about maybe say 16, 18 pounds, that's the 360 minutes, give or take, plus 20. It's almost 6 hours to cook your turkey. It would not take 6 hours to cook me. And look at the size of it. So this is how we make our turkey really simple. Make your stuffing. Your own. A lot of people have their own family traditional recipes. Keep it nice and simple, right?
What's your recipe, by the way, for the stuffing? Do you put sausage meat into it, onions?
No, I don't do that. I tell you why I don't do sausage meat. The reason why I don't do sausage meat is because look what we're eating. We're about to eat meat with more meat underneath it, so we don't need to stick more meat into it. So I just keep it really simple. I just keep a nice little bit of bread, a nice little bit of herbs. I actually put a little bit of apricot into it because, again, a game bird, a little bit of, that's why we have cranberry sauce with it traditionally, because that little bit of sharpness to cut through the game of the meat. So a little bit of like onions, garlic, a little bit of honey, a couple of diced up apricots, nice herbs. I use dry herbs. I don't even use the fresh herbs. Dry herbs is perfect. And my trick is I use fresh breadcrumbs. I actually take the crust off the sliced pan and then blitz it down into breadcrumbs. I don't use the dry breadcrumbs because I think it's like sawdust. So I use fresh breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Again, make it on the 23rd or the 24th. Get it done beforehand because that way it's simple. And here's the most important rule.
Do you cook the stuffing in the oven first before you stick it in his hole, or not stick it in his hole?
In a frying pan, melt the butter, put your onions, put your garlic. If you go onto my YouTube channel, you'll see all these videos how to cook everything from start to finish. Just put in my name. Be careful how you spell it. You could come to some dodgy side otherwise. But anyway, so melt off your butter. Throw in if you want to add in a bit of bacon, diced up bacon, do, but not a huge amount. Onions, garlic, then your breadcrumbs, a little bit of dried apricots, dried herbs. Beautiful. Here's what's crucial. Do it the 23rd or the 24th. Make sure your stuffing is absolutely stone cold. Stone cold. Christmas Eve, stuff the bird. Here's what I want you to do. Go to your butcher, and you know the wishbone, we all used to pull it with our little fingers? Mm-hmm. Get your butcher, because if you don't know how to do it, you'll make a mess of it. Get your butcher to take it out. The reason being, where's my knives and fork? Because when we come to carve on the day, it means the bone is gone, so we can get a much better slice off it when we're carving on the day. And ladies, if your husband has never cooked before in his life, do not let him carve the turkey. He doesn't get to show up one day a year and go, look at me, I'm the king of the house carving the turkey. Just have to sit down and eat his food. Keep him away from the food. Okay, now here's where, do you know, Niall, where they tell you to put a half pound of butter up the skin and loosen the skin, cover it in bacon? Do you know why that's a load of nonsense?
Why?
Because what happens to butter as soon as you put it into a hot oven?
Melts.
Exactly. Where is it? On the tray. Forever amen. So I'm going to tell you how to do it the complete opposite way. And there are thousands upon thousands of people worldwide that cook turkey the Treyvaud way because it makes sense. Here's what we do. A little bit of olive oil on your hand. I'm putting no butter, nothing. And I'm just putting it over that, as simple as, for a very simple reason. Now don't worry, you'll have somebody turning around going, Niall, you had a guy and he didn't wash his hands and I have all my stuff here beside me. You can't see it, but I'm doing it, trust me. The reason why we're putting a little bit of oil is for one reason and one reason only, is for our seasoning to stick. Flaked rock salt, only cook with flaked rock salt, nothing else, like so. And I'm doing the complete opposite. Remember what I said, the complete opposite. I want to taste that turkey. A little bit of cracked black pepper, simple, like so.
Okay.
Here is the trick. One bottle of wine, and here's the real trick. A little glass. Is
that for you with the turkey?
Well, that's in honor of my hero of the TV is Keith Floyd, the greatest TV chef ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will have a little sup of that. And for a full turkey, 16, 18, 20 pounds, I want you to put in a full bottle of white wine. I'm only going to put in a half here. And I'm pouring it into the cavity. A bit goes into the tray.
Into his neck.
Into his neck. Yeah. I remember the last time I tried to stick a bottle of wine in the birds. I won't go there. Anyway.
Come on.
That's why you wonder why is this guy doing so well on Twitter? Because we just don't take ourselves too seriously. No, I'm the exact same as yourself. Now, here's what I want you to do. All the experts tell you put it in a red hot oven and drop the temperature. That's why you eat dry turkey every year. So listen to me. we're actually putting it in a cooler temperature, 160 degrees, okay? And we're gonna do simple, wrap it with tin foil.
Okay.
I want you to think of the logic of this.
So he doesn't burn.
The reason being, exactly, we want to cook it slowly. So it's gonna steam because of the wine from the inside out, and 160 degrees from the outside in is cooking the bird in 2 different directions at a lower temperature. So at no stage is the turkey going, Jesus, it's hot in here, get me out. So that, it keeps the meat lovely and moist.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't matter how heavy your turkey is, 16, 18, 20, 22 pounds. It's the same thing. 2 hours, take off the tin foil, now put it up to 180 degrees, and now let it roast out. Here's when it's cooked, okay? So you'll see by checking the leg when it's nice and loose. Get your meat thermometer, you know that gobshite on the thing goes 75. He's actually kind of not on. So when it's 75 degrees, we'll probe the leg, the thickest part, and also probe the breast right into the carcass, because we want to make sure that it's cooked inside. You pick these up anywhere, the meat thermometers, they're very good. I just look at the turkey myself and I wiggle the leg, and when I see that's loose, I know my turkey is cooked. I've been cooking it the same way for about the best part of 25, 30 years. I've never once had raw turkey, and I've never once had dry turkey. So we put the other bit, make sure it's all nice and that the steam can't escape. That's important, because otherwise it's getting too hot in there. That goes into our oven, simple as. What you must understand is the Christmas dinner is ready when the turkey tells you it's ready. Because most people have to take out the turkey to put in their spuds, their roasties, and all that kind of stuff, okay?
Yeah.
So we're gonna take it out. That turkey stays roasting, piping hot for an hour to an hour and a half. It actually wanted to rest for at least 45 minutes. So just take it out, put an old sheet tin foil over it, and a good tea towel or something like that on top of it, and forget about it. Don't need to worry about it. And now we move on to our veg, our potatoes, and if you have, you know the way most people have a small oven on top of their big oven?
Yeah.
Put that in and around for your ham. I always have my ham on the bone. And I put it into a big tray, can of cider, cover that in tin foil at 60, 80 degrees maximum, and I put it in for about 2-3 hours. It doesn't overcook the ham, it just brings it up lovely to temperature. Then we do our glaze. We all know the glaze. There's so many experts telling you out there how to do your glaze. A little bit of mustard, a little bit of cloves.
I was going to say the mustard, yeah. Yeah, the mustard is famous.
I have to admit, I wouldn't care less if I didn't get a slice of turkey, but if I didn't get a slice of ham on Christmas Day, I swear to God, we'll be back on the show giving out about that.
My mother used to boil the ham in a big pot.
Yeah. I'm delighted you said that. So here's why everyone is making a mess of their turkey. Because 100 years ago when we cooked turkeys, most people were cooking them in agas, and the temperature wasn't that great, and they'd be going in and out. Anyone who lives down the country knows that the granny would be in and out of the aga every 2 minutes, so the temperature's always dropping. The modern day oven that we have now, that's why the temperature is so much better, and that's why it doesn't take 20 minutes. They're only just covering their ass, the food safety guys. They gotta say things like that so you don't eat raw turkey. But if you listen to everything I say, you don't eat, it'll be perfect. However, 100 years ago, boiling water was the exact same temperature as boiling water is today. And that's why that takes 20 minutes per pound when you're doing your ham. And put it into your pot, and once you got to your 20 minutes, take it off the heat, turn it off, and just let it sit and rest there, and it's done. Do that on the 23rd or the 24th, and they'll tell you to throw your ham out after 3 days if you haven't eaten it. I've eaten ham like about 10 days later, and I'm still looking. I made my hair fall out, and I probably put on a bit of weight, but apart from that, it's great. So that's how we make our ham. Heat it up slowly in the top of the oven while the turkey is cooking. We've now taken out our turkey. We take out our ham from the top oven at 60, 80 degrees max, put on our glaze, throw it in, throw in our mashed potatoes, and here's also what I want to show you as well about our veg and our potatoes. So here's a very simple selection of whatever veg you want to do on the day. I've got a little bit of carrot, parsnip, a little bit of broccoli. I normally do the carrots and parsnip in just butter and a little bit of honey and a little bit of curry powder. Only a little bit. Irish people, I can't stand curry. I'm talking about a tiny little bit of curry that just
sprinkling of it. Yeah,
just gives you that little flavor. Bit of rock salt, bit of pepper. Cook it all the day before. Mix it all with your butter and all that the day before. Let it go nice and cold. Done on your dish. Your mashed potato. Here, this is the key to mashed potato. If you can get yourself a potato ricer, do. Here's what we put into it and nothing else. Pepper, salt, flake rock salt, and these things. Ground nutmeg. Absolute must put it in. I get one of the proper nutmegs. An actual, I don't know what you call it, a seed, is it?
I don't know.
And your microplane, the nut, is it a nutmeg nut?
A nut. It's a nut, isn't it?
It's a bit like myself. And just put in a good half half of one of the nuts into your mashed potato, loads of butter and loads of cream.
If somebody just tuned in and said put your nuts into the roast potato, and they just heard you say that, they go, what are these people talking about?
Well, you should have seen, if you've only tuned in, rewind, because you should have seen what we said about putting into the turkey, into the bird's hole. Anyway.
By the way, I always put butter and milk into my potatoes. Is there something wrong with me?
No, milk is good. It's just, like that cream just gives us that. When you go into a restaurant and go, why is their mashed potato better? It's because we're using cream. It just gives you that, and proper cream. My father always says, and he's 87, he's still cooking for my mother every single day, he's still driving around the country, so there's obviously a bit of logic to his madness. If you're using butter, use real butter. None of this fake nonsense. If you're using cream, proper full fat cream. If you're using sugar, use proper sugar. None of this sweetener and muck that you don't know what 20 of the ingredients in the back of it. If you're eating food, eat food. And he's dead right. Here's the tip. We've all the stuff done. We've the turkey in, we've the ham in, we've everything sorted. The turkey's resting. By the way, make your gravy before. As I said, go on to my YouTube channel. I show you how to make gravy simple the day before, because you don't want the hassle. So on Christmas Day, all you're doing is chucking stuff into the oven and taking it out. Simple. Here we go. I'll show you how to do one of these. Do not be afraid. It does not melt. Cling film. Right, so. And don't be getting upset. I'm cooking for me, not for you. He put that into his mouth. I often look at these cooking shows and no one's leaving out. He just stuck his finger in the sauce. You're not eating the sauce I'm cooking. You're not eating this mashed potato, so don't be getting upset. It's not the problem nowadays. Now people are so upset.
Don't be worried about it. I'd eat it anyway. It's fine.
So cling film over your mashed potato or over your veg. A little bit of tin foil. And everyone's going to wonder, how did you just cook for 10 people? And like you just did it all on your own and everything was so easy. Well, because you listened to me. Everything was done on the 23rd or on the 24th, and all you basically did was just bang it into the oven to reheat it. Mm-hmm. Now, go on. Put your tin foil over. Like so.
Yeah. Over the potatoes, over the cling foil. Or the cling.
So your roasties go in the same time as your ham to glaze for about 45 minutes, okay? Take out your ham, take out your roasties. Put in your mash, put in your veg, done the exact same way. Cling film and tin foil as well. Make sure it's all tightly wrapped, otherwise the cling film will melt. So put on your cling film. Why are we putting on cling film? Because it keeps everything nice and moist. It doesn't dry out, so it keeps it like it's nice and fresh. Ham out, roasties out, mash in, veg in for 15-20 minutes. And that gives you the perfect time. I'm going to carve my turkey, I'm going to carve my ham, I'm going to put a little bit of spoonful of stuffing, I'm going to put a little bit of gravy over it. By the time I've all that done for 6, 8, 10 people, my veg is nice and hot. If you're worried about it, bang it in the microwave for 3 minutes before you bang it into the oven, just to make 100% sure. Or you can go the old-fashioned way now. You can stick your finger in it and see is it hot. And if it's not, just
getting back to the roast potatoes. I'm assuming Maris Pipers and Maris Pipers only. I'm
onto the wine now, by the way. This is Christmas Day now, so I put the Bailey's coffee behind. I'm onto the wine. Yes, Maris Pipers.
Okay, and parboil. Now, I like to parboil them till they're nearly about to fall apart. Right? Now, maybe some people like them a little bit harder than that, but I do like soggy mashed potatoes, right?
Right.
Okay, do you put them in the oil, or do you just put a bit of olive oil on them and put them in a bowl? What way do you do them in the oven?
You're gonna laugh. You see, all these cooking shows have to make it look as if they're reinventing the wheel all the time. Okay, so what I want people to take away from today is you cook the way you cook and the way you like it. So if I was to turn around and say, here's how I do my roasties. I peel them, I bang them into a tray with a little bit of olive oil, or only just kind of vegetable oil. And when they're about 95% cooked, I take them back out of the oven. I throw in a load of fresh rosemary, a couple of cloves of garlic, all my seasoning, my salt, my pepper, a little bit of aromat, a little bit of Cajun spice. It's fantastic on it. And here's the thing, a huge knob of butter. Right in the middle. Back into the oven for about 5 or 10 minutes. And that makes the crispiest, and never mind your duck fat and your goose fat and all that. If you have it, great, by all means. This stuff's not cheap, but this is a brilliant way to make a roast potato. And I've never had a roast potato that's not nice, I have to admit. So I think it's a simple recipe. This year, I want people to take it away that I want to make the easiest Christmas dinner. If you want to take it another level, because I'm sure I'll be getting through all the messages that are coming in now later on. But if somebody turns around and says, I'm cooking for 20 people, what do you suggest? I'm going to tell you exactly what I do.
Go to a hotel.
Go to a hotel, yeah. Or cook your turkey and ham the day before. Portion it when it's cold. Slice of ham, bit of stuffing, bit of turkey. Get your 6-8 portions on a tray, on a little bit of greaseproof paper, a cup full of water, cling film and tin foil. and bang it into the oven. You'll fit maybe 24, 30 portions into the oven like that, and heat it up for about 15, 20 minutes. Because I can tell you, I carve for 8 people every Christmas. I'll be carving for 8 people this year. It takes a bit of time, and apparently I know what I'm doing. So if you want to make it really, really, and I guarantee you, not one person sitting down would know the difference, because they're down having a beer, having something of mince pie. They pulled the crackers, they've got the hats on their heads. They're probably half jarred, probably stuffed after eating so many heroes throughout the day. They're not going to know the difference, and it's still absolutely delicious.
You can't beat the heroes, in fairness. I do like the heroes.
I'm a big Selection Box fan myself. Now, although I have to admit, the chocolate recipe isn't as good as it used to be. I know they've replaced it with soy milk or some muck like that. So I go for now, I spoil myself with a really nice, proper bar of chocolate. We've got a great guy here in Kenmare, Lorge. Beautiful chocolate. Wherever anybody is, there's always going to be a chocolate here nearby. I get a nice, proper chocolate, but I also have the packet of heroes too, by the way.
But by the way, what do you recommend for dessert? Should you stick with the traditional sherry trifle?
I mean, you can't, look, I'm a firm believer in traditions. You can't beat a good sherry trifle. It's a simple classic dessert. It's a bit of jelly. It's a shop bought sponge. It's tinned fruit. It's the kind of stuff your granny, I remember my beloved wife's granny, God rest her. We went out for dinner years ago one Christmas and asked for the sherry trifle. And we were in a 5-star hotel. It was very fancy.
Yeah,
all this kind
of course.
Of yeah. Anyway, she asked for her sherry trifle and they said, madam, we've got kumquats, we've got mango, we've got all that. And she goes, is it tinned? And they went, no. I said, I wouldn't eat that rubbish. She wouldn't eat it because that's what they were brought up with. Lovely tinned fruit, with a bit of custard and a bit of whipped cream and hundreds and thousands and a sprinkle of chocolate. Absolutely fantastic. I personally think plum pudding is too heavy. That's my own opinion. After eating so much throughout the day, to have to face into it. Now, it's gorgeous, but I'd much rather have that now when no one's looking at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night, scoop into that and then go back to the old cheese board or something like that. I love the cheese board. That's exactly what I'll be having, but I also make a beautiful bread and butter pudding. Really, really simple.
I've tasted that. That's pretty good, by the way. And also, by the way, getting back to the sherry trifle, is there actually sherry in a sherry trifle?
Yeah, well, that's what they'd normally do. They'd soak the sponge in the sherry.
Oh, soak the sponge in the sherry. See, I would have just soaked the sponge in the jelly.
By the way, when I was flambeing off those cocktail sauces, people probably texting, what about kids? Can we just use vodka instead if you're worried if there's kids? It's fine. That's a joke. Isn't it amazing? We have to explain the difference. That's a joke. I'm only kidding, guys. It's a bit like a man and a woman. I'm only kidding.
Where does Paul Treyvaud have his dinner? Do you have your dinner in the restaurant? Do you invite people over, or?
No. I've got great friends that come down. They've come down for so many years, and they bring their 2 kids down, Daniel and Jacob, and we have an absolute brilliant time. And for me, it's all about the dinner table. So we go over to my beloved wife's Outlaws for maybe an hour or two. We have a couple of hot ports, a bit of crack. Everyone gets a Chris Kindle present. Then we come back. I'm straight into my pajamas. I don't believe in this muck of walking around your house in shirt and ties and jumpers just because you think it's Christmas. Put on your pajamas, put on your tracksuit, get comfortable, and just sit on the couch, watch a bit of a movie while the turkey is cooking away. And then we sit at the table, no word of a lie, Niall, for probably 5-6 hours, just talking absolute nonsense, and we have a brilliant time.
And I suppose the best time for the Christmas dinner, because people argue about this all the time, and I see people having their Christmas dinner at 2 o'clock when normally they'd have their dinner at 5 or 6, but for some reason they want to have Christmas dinner at 2 o'clock. I mean, realistically, you got to leave it to a reasonable amount of time and let people digest the breakfast they've had.
Absolutely, 100%. That's why we stopped doing the full fry, because I did the whole hog. It was ridiculous the stuff I was doing, and then everybody was stuffed after the starter. So we had the breakfast nice and early. Then what I normally do is I have the starters. This year I'm doing tapas. I'm doing a prawn cocktail. I'm going to do a little bruschetta with just simple nice tomatoes on a lovely sourdough bread. I've got a lovely piece of foie gras from my sister's deli there, Simply Delicious and Fox.
I don't know about the foie gras. No, don't
yeah, and a little bit of wild honey. Try that. If you get yourself a bit of foie gras and a little bit of wild honey in the honeycomb, a little bit of foie gras, a little bit of honey on a cracker. Mother of God, I tell you, you'd leave your wife for it. It's so fantastic. And we're going to have that. And I'm going to do crab claws with no offense, Karen. And you're going to have a little bit of garlic butter in crab claws in the pan, like I did the cocktail sausages. Put it all on the middle of the table, and we'll all just help ourselves. And then we're going to chill out for about an hour and a half, while everything else is kind of getting ready. And then we do the full turkey ham, the whole dinner. And then we just talk rubbish. The wine's probably kicked in at that stage. And, we have a bit of laugh. Charades is a must.
I was going to say the best thing to do when the wine kicks in is then just go onto Twitter and start giving out about the government. That's probably the best thing to do, really. Get it off your chest while the wine is kicking in.
I can see my wife. Don't. Just let me give me one. He hasn't wished Happy Christmas to anybody yet.
And apart from that, at that stage then you're starting to feel a bit sleepy because the tryptamine in the turkey is kicking in. Did you know I know somebody told me this a while ago. Now, it could be completely untrue. You probably know better than I. I think it's called tryptamine, which is an amino acid which is in turkeys. Tryptophan. It's amino acid that's in turkeys. And it's the same chemical that they use in sleeping tablets, from what I believe.
Well, I always thought it was the fourth bottle of wine. It's the turkey. I tell my wife, don't blame the wine, it was the turkey.
That's why we all fall asleep on Christmas Day. Everybody falls asleep. It's the turkey that does it. So, Paul, how's the restaurant going? Are you going to be up to your eyes coming up to the 3 or 4 days coming up to Christmas? Will it be busier, or is it all finished now? Is all the Christmas parties finished?
Yeah, it's quietening down. We close for 3 days over Christmas. Then we go as far as the 6th of January, and then we close for 4 weeks. We do it every time to give the guys the holidays. But it's funny, I get so much... There's an awful lot of trolls and bots in the world that we live in nowadays, and trying to decipher, who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. It's not really that difficult. And they turn around and say, your business is going to be in shite because of what you're putting up on Twitter, and stop tweeting all this kind of stuff, and I hope your restaurant... We are flying. I can't believe how well the restaurant has gone this year. I'm hearing so many people are down, God love them, and it's been a really, really tough year, and next year's going to be absolute carnage in my own opinion. But thankfully, I couldn't believe it when we were doing the year-on-year figures. And I see, and when I say every night, it's not an exaggeration. Every single night, somebody's in the restaurant going, follow you on Twitter. Don't want to, like or comment or retweet in case I get in trouble the way these guys, what they do. They send emails to their bosses and all that kind of stuff. But we want to support you by coming into the restaurant, and that's why we're down in Killarney. And I have to admit, I'm a lot of things, as you well know, but stupid is not one of them. And if I saw the business was dropping because of the stuff I was tweeting, I just say what a lot of people think. I can get away with it because I'm self-employed, and I don't need to turn around to the boss and go, oops, I did a bit of a green party. I said they're all white privilege in the restaurant, and I just need to leave.
By the way, that has to be tweet of the year, because this is the Green Party, of course, put up about being all of us having this earned white privilege, right, in Ireland. And I'm just looking at it. It had like 3 million views, something like, 2,500 comments, but only 200 likes. That's some ratio, isn't it? Must be a record for Twitter.
At some stage, whether it be these guys, whether it be a different political party or whoever gets wiped out in the next election, I don't know who's going to go. We can't tell the future, obviously. I think we have a fair idea who's going to get a bit of a hammering. They will sit down around a table and they're going to wonder, what did we do wrong? Can anyone, what do we need to do better for next year? Well, I tell you what you need to do better for next year. Do not tweet to the Irish person that they have white privilege for being white and being born in Ireland. Unfortunately, I don't see a black guy walking around Kenya going, oh my God, I am so privileged to be from Kenya. It just does not happen. So, we are what we are, but I guarantee you that tweet has, if you put the knife in and twist it 4 or 5 times and go in 2 more times, you still haven't gone in as far as the damage that tweet is done for the Green Party.
But some of the bonker stuff that both Labour and Green Party are putting up, mind you, they're all putting up, to be honest with you, it just goes to show you, and nobody actually is surprised that either the Labour Party, and people are probably saying, who's the Labour Party now? Yeah, they were a popular party going back a few years ago. Nobody's ever heard of them anymore. And of course, the Green Party, who only had 2 or 3% of the national vote last time around, and will probably only get 1% this time around, and they'll be just annihilated in the next election, hopefully. But Paul, here's the thing: everybody's very angry at the moment. They want to vote for somebody else, but there's no one else to vote for, is there?
Well, I tell you who there is to vote. In my opinion, and who am I? I'm only a burger flipper. Or what do they call me? Burger Gemma. I got a t-shirt actually saying burger flipper. I'm actually thinking of getting another t-shirt saying, yes, I am fat and bald. Because these are the slangs I get on Twitter. Thankfully, it's literally water off a duck's back. I don't care. But here's what I think, that we're the far right, okay? We're the far right. These guys need to take a trip to see what the real far right is. I guarantee you. They're labeling good, honest to God, hard-working family people who get up early in the morning, who do everything they can to provide for their family, to go to work, to come home, to make sure their wife, their husband, their kids are taken care of. They're labeling us far right because we're disagreeing with what they're saying. It's pathetic. And as I've always said, if they fear you, they'll label you. If they fault you or whatever, they will blame you. And the government are saying, you, Niall, me, and so many people that listen to your show are the real trouble in this planet and the real trouble in this country because you're far right. That's their single biggest mistake, because they basically call me and you something that we're not. And I'm turning around going, well, who do I vote for? I thought actually the other political parties were going to destroy Sinn Féin. Miraculously, they've actually done it themselves. So here's who we vote for in the next general election. We vote for the independents only. And you might think I'm mad, and here's the reason. And we won't form a government over that, but we'll vote for the independents only again in the next election until these guys get the hint that we don't want anyone that's flying the flag for Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. We don't want you anymore, because you've absolutely I'm looking at so many people who are losing their businesses right now, and it's so, it's beyond sad as to seeing people that have worked. I saw a business in Killarney, 18 years they're in business, and they shut their door last week. There's another place in Dublin there. Every single day I'm seeing people closing down because the government have turned their back on the people, the backbone of this country. And that's not a racist thing to say.
No, it's not.
A fact. There's no way I'd be going on a national platform turning around saying things like this if it wasn't true. And we are absolutely crippled. And what's coming in January, I mean, I feel so bad. We're one of the lucky ones. We're there 21 years, Treyvaud, so they're not bad for somebody who's full of crap and wires up everybody. We're still there 21 years. We own the building, so I don't have a bank manager screaming at me. I don't have a landlord coming screaming at me. And we're still under pressure. Every day I'm looking at the bank balance going, mother of God. Minimum wage is going up 12% in the new year, 12.5%. Great for those who are on it. But where are the employers all of a sudden going to find that extra 400, 500, 600 euro minimum? I saw a place 25 full-time staff.
I did suggest this come back a while ago that people should be on a better wage. There's no reason for that. But I said the only way to do that is for the government to incentivize businesses by reducing the employer's PRSI, for example, and subsidising people's wages. And that's the only way to do it. And it's the best way to do it.
You cannot put the onus on the employer. There's only so much we can take. There's only so much. And I have no problems. And people say, I'll pay. You hear these guys say one line to remember, they can never remember. It's a fair day's pay for a fair day's work. They can never remember. They've only one line for these guys to remember. They can't remember. Basically, they want people to be paid proper money, which we all 100% agree with. But that's no problem. I'll pay the staff 50 quid an hour, but you'll be paying 100 quid for your breast of chicken or a steak. That's what's going to happen. So you can't just miraculously make up this money because our electricity bills are through the roof costs. And it's not just restaurants, it's every business across the board. That's where we're making a big mistake. We're all fighting individually. The Restaurant Association, who are useless in my opinion, the vintners, they're not much better. All the SMEs, all these associations that are trying to take on the government individually, if they all came together and marched up to Leinster House and go, right lads, enough is enough. It's now payback time for the small family-run business. That's the corner shop in Kenmare. That's the little place in Beaufort, the little place in Clorgan, all around town, Westport. If we came together, I guarantee you, they won't be long changing their tune. Ask the old age pensioners, they did it, and the government backed down in minutes.
Absolutely, I'd say the same way to the water charges as well. Listen, Paul, what are you going to get for Christmas off Santa Claus, by the way?
I tell you what, I always look for peace and harmony. I also look to, £4 less at least.
Yes, peace and harmony. You sound like a Miss World. I want to save the planet.
Yeah. Jamaica. Isn't that what they come out? They all have to shout out the name of the country they're from. Do you know what? I just hope that my family are around me, the people I care about are around me. I hope that my friends, they have a great day. I hope that my mum and dad up in Dublin, that they have a great day. They'll be with my sister. My brother will be with his wife and kids over Carney. I just hope that the people I know, care about, give a crap about, I just hope they have a great day. Hope they have a really good time. Don't worry too much. A lot of people under a lot of pressure and stress. So, me personally, I'm not a materialistic guy. Don't really care. Clothes, cars, that kind of stuff. I do drive a nice car, having said that, but I don't really care about materialistic things. I just hope that everyone just, hopefully we'll be all right, because we're in for, I think, a really tough 12 months ahead next year, and hopefully we'll all get through it.
Absolutely. Listen, Paul, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for all the tips. A lot of people got some good ideas today on how to cook the turkey, the ham, the spuds, the vegetables, and even those little sausages, which look absolutely gorgeous, by the way.
Just for yourself and Karen as well. Just obviously,
I don't even have a can of Red Bull. Where's my can of Red Bull?
Your turkey, yeah. Wishing you guys both a fantastic Christmas. But I just want to say thank you so much. During COVID, during lockdown, during all that kind of stuff, you were the only one who let me talk and ramble and rant and never interrupted. Even if I talk nonsense, even if I talk utter crap, you let me say my thing. If you disagreed with me, you told me. If you agreed with me, you told me. And I have no idea how much that helped. And you're the main reason as to why so many people come into the restaurant, because you let me speak. You've got a great listenership, viewership, and many years of success to yourself and Karen. I hope you're doing great. And listen, just sincere thanks for everything you've let. And you've let a lot of people do it, Niall. And I hope you realize, you're one of the best guys out there. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul, and I really appreciate that. Paul Treyvaud, thank you very much indeed. And don't forget to go to Treyvaud's restaurant in Killarney. Paul will be there. He has the turkey ready, waiting for you, by the way. It's in the oven.
In the oven.
Cheers, Paul.
Thanks, Niall. Take care.